Welcome to the channel, friends. So today's project is going to be upgrading the high and low beams on my XP1000 and also the Premium Trail 850 with LED bulbs. So if this is going to interest you, stay tuned and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so welcome back. Here is my XP1000 and this is my girlfriend's new 2020 Sportsman 850 Premium Trail. And on my machine, I'm not too happy with the headlights on them. They just have the standard halogen Polaris bulbs. They're kind of yellowish looking, both for the low beams and the high beam. So I want to upgrade to the LEDs to see if they're going to make a difference. Mostly for vision-wise, to get more clarity at nighttime plowing and when night trail riding. But this Sportsman 850 already has the sweet LED headlights that Polaris is using on the more premium models. It has a LED kind of running light, and then it has actually a low beam and a high beam built into the lower headlight itself. So these are LED, and the only bad thing is that they didn't upgrade the high beam bulb up top on the handlebars. So you're still left with a yellowish looking bulb on this machine, and then the really cool looking headlights below, which are like a whitish blue, which have really good visibility. And that's kind of the goal I'm going for on my machine, is a little more visibility and better cool look when you have the headlights on. So with that being said, this is going to be a simple upgrade for your machine if you're sick and tired of the standard kind of yellowish colored halogen bulbs, and kind of give your machine a nice brand new modern look. I really like the look of these brand new 2020 headlights they're putting on the machines now. Only on the Premium Trail, I believe, in the 1000 Premium or LE, I guess. But they are, I priced them out and they're $600 for the set. And one thing to mention, they are a 4-wire system versus a 2-wire or a 3-wire on my machine there, which is a 2018. So they're not directly plug and play, because like I said, there is a running light and there also is a high beam feature within that lower headlight. So I will switch the ATVs around and show you what that looks like. But right now I'm gonna go ahead in the workshop and show you a set of the bulbs up close and kind of compare them to the stock bulbs. All right, so I parked them side by side that way we can have a good comparison. And I kind of did this out of sequence with the headlight swap out, just so you can see the comparison between the low beams on my XP1000 with the new high beam, which is a LED, versus the stock halogen high beam on the 850 Premium Trail with the LED newer headlights from Polaris. Then I will go ahead and swap out the factory halogen in this headlight here with the LED that I have on my XP1000. And this should be a good backdrop. I'm going to turn the lights off and show you guys what it looks like. So a close-up shot, and my initial thoughts with the naked eye is that the LEDs are just as bright, if not brighter, than the stock halogens, but they have that nice crisp white light coming from them, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So the high beam now is a white light. Same thing with here on the left-hand side, okay, is that LED. And I still have the stock halogen on the right-hand side here on my XP1000. No loss of lighting output by going to LED, which is great. This is the 850 Premium Trail. It has those sweet LED low beam, high beam combination on the bottom here, but yet it still has that yellowish halogen up top, which is kind of off-putting. So I'll show you something. So there's two separate elements here on this headlight. I'll go ahead and turn off the high beam just for a second to show you what I'm talking about. So you have the running light with just one element, one of those lenses lit up on the lower portion on the 850 Premium Trail. That would be your low beam setup on this machine. And then when it's just running without any lights on, you have the cool LED element still lighting up the machine, making it visible on the trail, which is really, really nice feature. So really yellowish kind of tinge to the halogen. Really nice looking LED here on the bulb that I swapped out. Same thing on the headlight pod. Really happy with the color of the light and the output. So I'm going to go ahead and swap out the halogen on the 850 and then the remaining bulb here on the XP1000 and make it one cohesive LED lighting system. But first I'm going to show you what they look like up against the garage door. Here are the two bulbs that are on the Polaris Sportsman. This one here being the high beam bulb. It is a 886 bulb, 12 volt, 50 watt. That's the one that's on the handlebar pod. And this one here, you have 2 of these on the machine for your low beams. And this is an 896. It's a 12 volt, 37.5 watt. So slightly less wattage on your low beams. And those are the 2 that are on the machine. I went ahead and replaced it with this. This is an LED. It has a dual-sided LED bulb stem here. Looks of very high quality. There is a heat sink built in. This is aluminum here. So there is some heat generated with the LED. Nice silicone seal here, just like you have on your factory-made bulbs here from Polaris, which are made in Korea. Okay, so not a US-made product or a Canadian product. Very, very similar in quality. And this being the upgraded LED bulb that I am using. So one thing to note is that when installed on the machine, okay, the LEDs are facing top and bottom, which essentially is a transverse orientation. On the factory bulbs, when installed, they are a vertical orientation. Now, I'm talking about the filament, not the bulb itself. If you look at the filament, when it's orientated this way, this is how it sits in the machine facing forward. That filament is up and down, so it's a vertical orientation. This one, when you set it in the machine, it's the opposite. So instead of it being like this, it's like this in the machine, which now I don't notice any difference right now with the naked eye here in the garage, but the reflector, that parabolic reflector that's built into the headlight assembly, is designed for a certain focal length and also a certain orientation of the filament. So we'll see how these perform even though they have a transverse configuration. To the naked eye, they look really well. You know, they look nice and bright, they have a nice color, and they fill the headlight reflector really well when looking at it straight on. I'll try to get some images of that on camera for you guys to see in the video, but so far in the garage testing, I can tell you that these things are just as bright, if not brighter, because of the color, the whiter color of the bulb. So just wanted to show you guys that up close. These came in a nice little box. Here it is, and you know, anti-static packaging, and there was a foam sleeve that went over the bulb itself, just like that. And you know, I'm really happy with the quality of it. So only time will tell if they last and if they dim or if they just stay the same brightness or what. So I'm gonna go ahead now and install the remainder of these LEDs on the machines and go on from there. So one thing I want to talk about really quick is that in the search of high performance bulbs for this Polaris, it's kind of an issue because there's not a lot available. You have only the Chinese kind of bulbs to choose from, because what's happening is Polaris is using a very odd style bulb which has a right angle connector, which allows them to fit more stuff in a confined space, because right here goes your storage compartment, which is removable. But what happens is you cannot use like some more common high performance bulbs like say the 893, the 880, the 881 series of bulbs which have a straight connector coming out the back. That would make life a lot easier because it's easier to find high performance bulbs, whether it be Sylvania Silver Stars, you know, Philips, what else? You know, Pia, Hella. They make all different kind of bulbs for vehicles, for Jeeps, for automotive style bulbs, high performance. Now, it's really hard to find that for this machine because you have these kind of odd style bulbs that have the right angle connectors, which you have to use. So that's why I ended up going with a high performance Chinese LED, is because I could not just pick up any 893 bulb and put it in because it would not fit. So that's something I came across, which is extremely frustrating, but I'm glad I found some bulbs that worked, and I'll put more information about these bulbs that I have here in the description below. So before I show the final look on both ATVs, I want to go ahead and show you what the 850 premium trail headlights look like. These are the new Polaris LED headlights. These come stock. These are not aftermarket. So you have, when the machine is on and running, you have this LED kind of bar around the perimeter of the headlight housing. And then you have two projector beams on the headlight. So one is for your low beam and one for your high. Really sweet cutoff, really defined, really lights up the trail really well. So there is your low beam. Polaris did a good job with these new headlights. I really like the way they look. And then low beam and high beam. All three elements on the lower headlights are lit up. You got a lot of light output. This will be great for plowing and night trail riding. So a lot of light there. And now it matches because we have the LED in the headlight pod on the handlebars. If you ask me, this is how the machine should have came from stock. Really good looking machine now. Really happy with the way this looks. Can't wait to try it out on the trail. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a backdrop view now against the garage door with the new bulbs. And then I'll finish out the video with some night riding here on the property. And I'll show you what they look like and how they perform at night on the trail. Well, guys, that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any questions or comments, please place them right down below. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.